Hello everyone, Sue from Sizzling Towards 60 and Beyond here again, and it's lovely to be back in your inbox ready for our weekly coffee catch-up. So why don't you go and make a cuppa or a tea and then sit back and take a few moments for yourself and perhaps enjoy some reading of what I've had on the blog this week. We had Mother's Day last weekend, so I hope that if you're a mum, you were able to spend some quality time with your children, or if you're lucky enough to still have your mum, that you could spoil her and make her feel special. My weekend was jam-packed actually because I helped up at the aged care home for a party that they had raising funds for mothers in Africa. And then on the Saturday I had my first official speaking engagement, and I was MC and guest speaker at the COASIT High Tea for Mother's Day event. And COASIT is a community organisation that helps people stay in their homes for longer before having to move to aged care. My daughter came along with me and we had a lovely afternoon together, and I'll be writing a little bit about that over the coming weeks. On Sunday morning, which was Mother's Day, I kept up my yearly tradition of running in the Mother's Day Classic. I do this every year in memory and honour of my mother, who unfortunately lost her battle with breast cancer 32 years ago. I still miss her every day, and I don't think there's anyone like your mum. But I do this with her. Usually my daughter runs with me, but this year I was running solo because my daughter's due to give birth to a baby in about 3 weeks' time, so it's all excitement for her, but no way could she be walking or running 8 kilometres. The Mother's Day Classic is a wonderful event because it puts the spotlight on breast cancer and raises funds and awareness for research in that area. I'm very passionate about cancer and research because I have a family history of various forms of cancer, so I have my regular testing, and I never take anything for granted, but I do like to support anything that is going to help try to eradicate or find some cure for this horrible disease. It's National Volunteers this week in Australia, so I'm writing a little bit about that. I do some volunteering up at my mother-in-law's aged care home, but I think most of us sometimes look at volunteering as being something that we're locked into, and it can be a little bit of a chore or stressful. I've found that I have a happy medium. I go with them on the various outings. I help at special events. So I'm not locked in every week, but I'm still giving back to their community, and it's very rewarding. There's many ways you can volunteer, and even just helping out family and friends. So be sure to check out my post and maybe leave me a comment if you do volunteering and what you like to do. For Wellness Wednesday, I'm giving you an update on my Mindful in May challenge that I'm doing at the moment. I have to say that week 2 was very challenging, and it's hard to try and fit in the daily meditation and mindfulness plus listening to various interviews, some of which can go up to an hour. But I was starting to stress a little bit about it, and because I'm someone that likes to give 110% to anything I do, I was beating myself up a bit. But once I left a comment on the Mindful in May Facebook page, and I was comforted to know that many people commented that they were feeling the same way. And the message that the Mindful in May people wanted to get across to us was that as long as we try to do something every day, that's better than not doing anything at all. And it's about being kind to ourselves. And sometimes our best might only be 5 minutes on, any given day. Our best can be at any level. So being kind to ourselves and not beating ourselves up much was a good message for me to learn this week. They're also doing very well with their raising funds for their appeal of providing clean drinking water. And so it's been wonderful to be part of. And actually, it's going for 5 weeks, so I've still got another 3 weeks to go. Now, my guest this week in the Over 50 and Thriving series is Pat Doyle. And I haven't known Pat for very long. Her website is Retirement Transition. And she is someone who's similar to me. She's been a bit of a workaholic, and now she's stepped away from that world and she's trying to find a new life and a life of purpose. And so this week she's talking about how she lives her life by design, and she gives us 7 tips on how we can change our life and enjoy it, make the most of it, and redesign our life, which I think is a wonderful concept actually. And so I've left her details of her website, and I'd encourage you also to check that out when you finish reading her post, because she has some very inspirational information on her blog. I'm just loving meeting all these women in the Over 50 and Thriving series and just learning so much from you all. It's wonderful. I think women of our age and our generation really rock, because I think we're getting it right. We realise that we're not too old and that we're getting out there and living a new life in retirement and not just letting life pass us by. Now, the last thing I just want to mention before I go, and I might read about it because I keep getting myself a little bit confused, but I sent you out an email about opting back into receiving the newsletter. There was also one for those who want to receive posts whenever they publish. Now, I just need you to complete that by the 25th of May. The EU has brought in a general data protection regulation. Now, it's mainly for those people who live in EU countries, and I'm still trying to determine whether if people who aren't in those countries don't opt in, whether I can still send you information or not. But basically, you're just giving me permission to send you emails, and I don't have any marketing material or advertising, that sort of thing. So it's just to still receive either the newsletter, if that's what you've subscribed to previously, or the subscribing to each post. So I would ask if you could do me a favour and just complete that. I will be sending one more reminder out, so I apologise for all the emails, but it is important, and I need to make sure that the website's compliant, and I'm not sending you emails that you don't want. So if you decide that you would like to opt out, I'll be sorry to see you go, but by the same token, I understand, because we do all get so many emails a week, don't we? So now I'd love you to just sit back, make that coffee if you haven't made it already, and just enjoy reading through the blog. And please leave me some comments, because I do love hearing from you. I've built up some great connections with you, and I have my regular commenters, and I actually look forward to hearing from you every week. So that's it from me this week with the weekly coffee catch up with Sue, and I look forward to seeing you in your inbox next Saturday morning. Have a fabulous weekend, and don't forget to keep sizzling. Bye for now.